Good evening, I'm Teddy Mparanyanga. You can also follow us live on our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. President Samia Suluhu Hassan says the government has committed plans to continue to commercially revolutionize the agricultural sector by investing more inputs for farmers and providing more funds to the National Food Reserve Agency, NFRA, to buy farmers' products for export. Here's a report by Stanley Ganzel, read by Faidangaga.
Food demand in the African and global markets like Zambia is what moves President Samia Suluhu Hassan to call for more investment in the agricultural sector. President Samia insists that maize and rice are not only food crops but also cash crops due to its demands in the most of the neighboring countries.
We are setting up irrigation systems so that cultivation can be done. This is all costly, and we expect this cost will be returned when we sell food abroad. Zambians are taking hundreds of tons of grains from Tanzania.
Earlier, President Samia started her second day of the visit to Rukwa region by inaugurating an administration building of the Kalambo District Council, which costs 4.518 billion shillings. Ministers who have accompanied President Samia in the visit, Hussein Bashe and Mohammed Mchengera, elaborate how the government has put in place plans to elevate the status of the agricultural products.
We
will repair our old area so that we can store more crops, and we will ask to add another area with 100 hectares in this region so that we can expand.
Kwa bajeti ya mwaka huu 2024-2025,
for this year's budget 2024-2025, we have allocated approximately 160 million that will go to build houses for employees.
Furthermore, President Samia also had the opportunity to witness the progress of the vocational education and training buildings, Sumbawanga Airport and Mbeya Teachers Training College, Rukwa campus, where she laid a foundation stone. President Samia's visit to the Rukwa region continues tomorrow, where she is expected to visit various projects and address a public rally at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Sumbawanga.
President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says Zanzibar has many investment opportunities, calling on the investors from the United States to capitalize on the opportunities by investing in Zanzibar. Dr. Mwinyi made the call at the State House in Zanzibar, where some members of the United States Senate paid him a visit, insisting that his government continues to give a priority to the blue economy sector due to its business and job creation potentials.
And I would like to urge American business community to look into ways of investing in Tanzania. In Zanzibar, as I said, the two main areas would be the blue economy, which has several sectors. The most important for us right now is tourism. But we also have fisheries, and we would like to see some investment in our oil and gas exploration and so on. So to conclude my remarks, once again, thank you very much for being here, and we are looking forward to strengthen the cooperation that already exists.
Furthermore, Dr. Mwinyi explains how the government continues to equip youth with relevant practical education to prepare for the job market and self-employment.
We have sectors like seaweed farming. As a matter of fact, let me just say that one of the most important economic sectors for Zanzibar is the blue economy, because of the fact that we are surrounded by the ocean. So most of our people are either fishermen, or for the women, most of them are doing seaweed farming. And I would say about 95% of those who are in seaweed farming are women. And for us, we are looking at different ways of supporting them, of making sure that they grow.
The president of Zanzibar says the U.S. Senate members' visit provide a platform to deepen ties between Tanzania and the United States in various areas. Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Biteko has instructed the Tanzania Electric Supply Company Limited, TANESCO, to ensure that they resolve any challenges that they may emerge in the power infrastructure timely to assure reliable power services without inconvenience. Biteko has given the instructions during his visit to review the progress of the Molim Nyerere hydropower project, where he has expressed his satisfaction with the speed of completion of the project. Emmanuel Samo reports.
Julius Nyerere Dam Power Generation Project in the coastal region has now reached 98.3% and is already reduced the power challenges in the country. The Deputy Prime Minister, who is also the Energy Minister, Dr. Doto Biteko, and the other executives from the Tanzania Electricity Supply Company Limited, TANESCO, arrive at the project thereafter, issues directives to the Senior Vice President of Elseworld Electricity Company Limited, while harmed on the progress of the project.
Starting from August, we will have it connected for testing purposes, which means that it will start supplying power to the national grid of Tanzania in August, I think 16th of August or around. And then the tests will be finished soon in September, when we have additional tests required for the second tunnel that will require to shut down the unit and discharge all the water from the tunnel before we restart it again for testing purposes.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy Dr. Doto Biteko praises the work done by the contractor.
Nichukue nafasi hii kwa kweli kumpongeza sana mkandarasi JV.
Let me take this opportunity to congratulate the JV contractor for managing this project well, which we wish to be completed on the time. And as you can see on our system, 600 megawatts are being produced right now. TANESCO Executive Director Engineer Gisima Nyamuhanga vows to work on the instructions given.
Hapa tulipo Mheshimiwa Naibu Waziri Mkuu na Waziri wa Nishati.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Energy is a concrete example of putting into practice your statement that Tanzanians want electricity, and this project will ensure that it produces electricity for Tanzanians. Reporting from Pwani region, Emmanuel Samuel, TBC News.
The Eastern and Southern Africa member states have been advised to remove non-tariff trade barriers on a staple food export value chain so as to facilitate increased grain trade among member countries. The call has been made in Dar es Salaam in a public-private dialogue that brings together private and public sector players in the staple foods export value chain to deliberate on emerging trade issues, including the re-emergence of export bans and regulatory non-tariff barriers. Rema Sobili has more details.
It is a public-private policy dialogue and grand forum that is anticipated to create a platform for objective deliberations with the relevant government agencies and regulatory authorities to address issues hampering export trade, including trade restrictions, border processing, and logistics constraints. Speaking during the meeting in Dar es Salaam, the director of the East African Grain Council, EAGC, said that due to these restrictions, the grain business has been carried out at a high cost, while the director of Trademark Africa has said that there has been a challenge of spending a long time obtaining permits to export crops.
We are looking at an opportunity to dialogue so that we have policies that are supportive to trade, policies that are making it easier and better to trade so that we reduce on the non-tariff barriers and even the tariff barriers to trade, and also creating an opportunity for the businesses to meet, to engage, to know each other, and be able to execute trade contracts that we will follow up to actualize with support from government, so that whatever documentation that is required, licenses, permits, and everything else, the government will support from the selling countries and also from the buying countries, so that even the cross-border, the costs are reduced and we are making this food affordable to our people.
These kind of initiatives to work, bottlenecks around regulatory frameworks of countries needs to be addressed. Studies have shown trade of staple food and food grains, which accounts for more than half of all food trade in the region, contributes to about 25 to 30% of the national GDPs. Regardless of its contribution to the GDP, we still face a lot of challenges. so we could actually create more gains.
On the other hand, the director of the Cereals and Mixed Crops Regulatory Authority, Copra Irene Lola, say that there's a need for member countries not only to strengthen agriculture, but also to ensure that they strengthen the trade of crops by having clear and stable systems that encourage the trade crops to be done more conveniently so that the farmers also benefit.
Structured cross-border trade is crucial for sustainability and growth of our agriculture sector. By establishing proper contracting mechanism, clearance procedure, settlement through financial institutions, we can create a robust framework that not only enhances trade efficiency, but also contributes to our GDP. Our government remains steadfast in the commitment to facilitating trade to happen efficiently in the country. At present, we have started the process of formalizing food crop value chains and strengthening marketing structures, all aimed at facilitating trade at a faster rate.
Let us feed ourselves. The ministry is spearheading to make sure that we feed ourselves by increasing the level of production and feed our neighbors in a business manner.
About 10 countries in Africa have participated in the forum. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rahima Sababili, TBC News.
Air Tanzania has established a commercial partnership with Kokilabhan Hospital in Mumbai, India, that allows passengers using ATCL flights to Mumbai to benefit from discounted air ticket and medical expenses when receiving treatment at the hospital. Speaking Dar es Salaam after launching the campaign named Your Health, Your Wealth campaign, ATCL Director of Commercial and Business Development, Patrick Ndekana, says the initiative underscores their dedication to promoting holistic health solutions and enhancing the travel experience for all the customers flying with ATCL to Mumbai.
The healthcare package will be available for Air Tanzania passengers from Nairobi and Tbcnews and Dar es Salaam to Mumbai, ensuring accessibility to world-class medical services at benefited rates, as indicated earlier by my colleague. From Dar es Salaam to Mumbai, the package is $1,050, which includes the return ticket, 2 days accommodation at the hospital, visa arrangements, airport transfers, and consultation at the hospital, together with the medical test as indicated earlier. To access the package, customers should request a letter for admission and receipt from the Kokilabhan Hospital relating to medical treatment or service to be offered. The hospital also assists in initiating visa application. Upon verification of the documents, passengers' return tickets will be processed. After this compliance, customers will be ready to enjoy the package.
On his part, Kokilabhan Hospital's director, David Dixon, says for the next 3 months, Kokilabhan Hospital will be offering exclusive discounted healthcare packages in partnership with Air Tanzania, featuring, among others, advanced medical tests, including the PET CT scan.
Our collaboration is designed in addressing the growing demand for high-quality diagnostic services. Kokilabhan Amani Hospital, renowned for its state-of-the-art medical facilities and experts, healthcare professional, will provide the PET CT scan. Air Tanzania will facilitate a seamless travel arrangement, ensuring that the patient can access these services with ease, and Mumbai Healthcare will play a crucial role in coordinating and promoting this initiative, making it a holistic approach to healthcare. This initiative is not just about providing a diagnostic service. It is also about offering hope, peace of mind to patients.
The long-awaited Ark Peace Hospital ship has arrived at the port of Dar es Salaam, carrying more than 100 medical experts who will be in the country to provide medical services as part of celebrating 60 years of cooperation between Tanzania and China. The event, which has been graced by the Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner Albert Chalamila, who urges Tanzanians to come in large numbers to grab this free medical opportunity. Kanki Magamola has more details.
The treatment will be provided by the People's Armed Forces and the Chinese Navy Army and will begin from the 18th of July to the 24th of July. While inaugurating the event, the Dar es Salaam Region Commissioner, Albert Chalamila, insists the coming of the ship is the outcome of strong cooperation between Tanzania and China.
They will provide treatment to the people as part of the 6th anniversary of the cooperation between Tanzania and China. The medical services that are expected to be provided include medical tests, routine surgery, maternal diseases, bones, urinary tract infections, optical services, ENT, cardiac services, intestinal-related diseases, as well as skin with burns infections. These services will be provided with the cooperation of specialists from Mwimbili National Hospital, Tumbi, Amana, Mwananyamala, Temeke, JKCI hospitals, and the Chinese Army medical practitioners.
ARC-Peace aims at bringing the medical care to people all around the world. This is the 10th mission harmony for ARC-Peace since the commissioning in 2008. It has visited 46 countries and regions, providing medical service to over 290,000 people, which explicitly demonstrates China's foreign policy of safeguarding world peace and promoting the common development.
也是推进构建中非命运共同体的务实举措。
The village of ARC-Peace to Tanzania is the specific practice implementing the vision of comprehensive, strategic, and cooperative partnership.
Furthermore, the Chief of Medical Services of the Tanzania People's Defense Forces, Major General Amri Mwami, says the arrival of the ship is the continuation of aligning strong bonds left by the fathers of both nations.
This is a continuation of cooperation with long history and deep roots. The relationship between Tanzania and China is rewarding and enriching one. It has been defined by historical, political, economic, and military cooperation.
The Chinese medical ship has arrived at the port of Dar es Salaam with the aim of giving free medical treatment to Tanzanians and different communities around. Tanzanians have been urged to grab this medical opportunity because it is offered for free. Reporting from inside the ship, I'm Kanki Mwegomole, TBC News.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Up next is international news. In international news, Paul Kagame is set for a fourth term as electoral authorities declare him the winner of the Rwanda presidential election after garnering 99.15% of the votes. Silvanus Karemera from Kigali has more details.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I would say that President Kagame emerged the winner of this election by the landslide majority because he got 99%, defeating the other two contenders. In this case, the head of the Green Party of Rwanda, Dr. Habineza Frank, who only got 0.53, and the other independent contender by the name of Philippe Maimana, who only emerged with 0.32 of the casting votes. And shortly after the declaration of these results, partial results, the President Kagame thanked the people in attendance, saying that this, win or victory is attributed to the coalition of other parties which entered the coalition with his party a few, days ago, and which ran the campaign together with ruling party RPF. And he said that this victory is actually a significant sign that Rwandans are still, having, or rather having confidence in his party and in him particularly as president, because he's been in power for quite some time, and all developments in Rwanda, security, safety, and other, developments has been to some extent attributed to him. And President Kagame is seen in Rwanda as custodian of change and development of this country. So throughout the night, all people, especially followers of the ruling party, have been jubilating, have been dancing around, and you could see, very many people moving around, expressing their jubilation, so to say. And most of these people who are actually the youthful people, who are actually, who vote actually for the first time, because as I told you yesterday, the 9 million people, Rwandans who cast their votes yesterday, only 2 million among them were the first voters. In this case, youthful people between 18 to around 20, 22 years old. So most people who spend their nights, jubilating, singing, chanting, happiness and so on and so forth, were youthful people. Today we had some other elections going on, especially involving the special groups. In this case, people with disabilities and women and youth. And as I speak now, we are just waiting for the National Electoral Commission to pronounce the partial results of parliamentarians, because yesterday specifically was about the presidential candidates. So we are just waiting to see what is coming out, because the National Electoral Commission here has already tweeted and told the public that shortly they will be releasing the results of parliamentary elections and so on and so forth. So we are also expecting that the ruling party and his coalition with other 3 or so political parties are going to emerge the winners of this election. So lastly, I would say that the National Electoral Commission has said that the final results are expected to be released before 27th of this month. So we're just waiting.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports news, Tanzania Olympic Committee Vice President Henry Tandao says his committee believes that they have made enough preparation for Tanzania athletes team to grab medals in the coming Summer Olympic Games 2024. That is expected to kick off at the end of this month in Paris, France. Speaking to journalists in Dar es Salaam, the Vice President asserts that Tanzanian athletes team players are hungry for victory and they are ready to fight for medals as they dream to end the long drought of medals in the biggest world stage tournament.
You don't lose hope. As long as we breathe, there must be hope. Especially for me with the marathon, I think the men have good chances. At the moment, everybody is giving Eliud Kipchoge a chance to get a third medal. But Gabriel has beaten Kipchoge once. So why can't he beat him a second time? So for me, I think there is a chance of getting a medal. As long as we can give them the best that we can. The problem I find with most of us in Tanzania is expecting something where we have not sold anything. What you put in comes out. If you don't put in anything, nothing comes out.
Tanzania will be sending 18 athletes to the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, as only 4 athletes, namely Alphonse Simbu, Gabriel Gay, Magdalena Shauri and Jacqueline Sakilu, already qualified for the tournament. Tanzania received 4 wildcard entries from the International Olympic Committee, IOC. These wildcard entries include boxer Yusuf Changalawe, judoka Andrew Mlugu, and swimmers Collins Saliboko and Sophia Latif. The Olympic Games will take place from July 26 to August 11, 2024. The 2024 Tanzania Premier League new season is expected to kick off on August 16th, according to the information provided by Tanzania Premier League Board TPLB, to continue to reveal that the Tanzania Premier League, which is number 6 in Africa's football standards, will end May 24th, 2025. The announcement of the Tanzania Premier League opening and closing calendar is the indication that the timetable of the league will be released soon. 16 teams will feature in Tanzania Premier League season 2024-2025, including the promoted teams from the Tanzania Championship League, Pamba GGFC, and Ken Gold FC from Mbeya. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Sports, Gerson Msigwa, says that the government will continue to put more efforts in finalizing the rehabilitation of Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in time ready to host AFCON 2027. Speaking after the inspection of the stadium in Dar es Salaam, Msigwa expresses government's commitment to finish the rehabilitation of the stadium according to CAF standards, ready to host AFCON 2027 matches.
They heard that the stadium was under renovation. They knew there was nothing inside, but they were surprised to see for themselves that the situation is different. But there are times when the renovation exceeds the agreements because the field is used for some events, but we are trying to move fast to achieve our goals. In 2027, AFCON will be different in Tanzania.
CAF officials landed in Dar es Salaam to inspect the progress of the stadium according to the set standards set by CAF. That is sports news, and now before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let us take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello viewers, this is Amina Saleh from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Welcome to 24 weather forecasting starting from tonight. The wind is expected to flow at the speed of 40 km per hour over the entire coast, and the state of the sea is expected to be rough. Over the Lake Victoria and Lake Nyasa, the wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 km per hour. The state of the lakes are expected to be slight. Over the Lake Tanganyika, the wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 km per hour. The state of the lake is expected to be moderate. Tanzania Meteorological Authority had issued an advisory of strong wind reaching 40 km per hour and large waves reaching 2 meters over the entire coast. And for tonight, the cooler condition is expected in most parts of the country, and the minimum temperature is expected to be 5 over Mbeya. For tomorrow, parts of northern coast, which include Tanga and islands of Unguja and Pemba, are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over a few areas, and sun period. And the rest part of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy conditions. Now let's have a look on 4 days with the forecasting. Dar es Salaam, dry condition is expected with maximum temperature of 31. Dodoma, dry condition is expected with minimum temperature of 15. Mbeya, dry condition is expected with minimum temperature of 5. Mwanza, mainly dry condition is expected. Kilimanjaro, mainly dry condition is expected with minimum temperature of 16. Morogoro, dry condition is expected. Over Arusha, dry condition is expected with minimum of 14. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, thanks for watching and have a good night.
That marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. I am Teddy Mparanyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.
Naangalia TBC1, ukweli na uhakika.
Habari za wakati huu, mtazamaji wa TBC1. Karibu katika kipindi maalum tukiangazia mafanikio ya serikali ya awamu ya 6 katika mapambano dhidi ya dawa za kulevya. Na hapa tunaangazia tangu maadhimisho mwaka 2023 mpaka maadhimisho mwaka 2024, yani mwaka mmoja, ni kwa namna gani serikali ya awamu ya 6 imefanikiwa katika mapambano hayo. Mafanikio haya yanabainishwa katika maadhimisho ya siku ya kupiga vita dawa za kulevya nchini kwa mwaka huu 2024 yaliyofanyika kitaifa jijini Mwanza. Mgeni rasmi akiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan, ambaye amewakilishwa na Waziri Mkuu Mheshimiwa Kassim Majaliwa. Maadhimisho hayo kwa mwaka huu yamebebwa na kauli mbiu ya wekeza katika kinga na tiba dhidi ya dawa za kulevya. Mafanikio mbalimbali yameonekana ukilinganisha na maadhimisho yaliyofanywa kwa mwaka 2023. Operation mbalimbali zilizofanywa imefanikisha kukamata kwa kiasi kubwa cha dawa za kulevya ambazo hazijawahi kukamatwa kipindi cha nyuma. Ndipo hapo kongole zikaenda kwa mamlaka ya kudhibiti na kupambana na dawa za kulevya nchini, DCEA, chini ya Kamishna Jenerali Aretas Limo na vijana wake. Serikali ya awamu ya 6 chini ya Rais Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan imekuwa kinara barani Afrika katika mapambano dhidi ya kemikali bashirifu barani Afrika. Mafanikio haya yametokana na nia thabiti ya mamlaka ya kudhibiti na kupambana na dawa za kulevya chini ya Kamishna Jenerali wa mamlaka hiyo Aretas Limo. Mamlaka ya kudhibiti na kupambana na dawa za kulevya kwa kushirikiana na taasisi ya kuzuia na kupambana na rushwa TAKUKURU imezindua mwongozo wa uelimishaji kuhusu rushwa na kutoa elimu dhidi ya matumizi ya dawa za kulevya ambao umeanza kutumika kwenye klabu za kupinga rushwa na dawa za kulevya. Ipo kauli ya wahenga isemayo, ukitaka kwenda haraka nenda peke yako, lakini ukitaka kwenda kwa mafanikio nenda na wenzako. Msemo huu umekuwa ukizingatiwa sana katika mapambano dhidi ya dawa za kulevya, kwani mamlaka kwa kushirikiana na vyombo vingine vya ulinzi na usalama pamoja na mamlaka nyingine zimefanikiwa kufanya operation zenye mafanikio na kukamata kiasi kikubwa cha dawa hizo. Inakadiriwa kuwa zaidi ya watu milioni 296 wametumia dawa za kulevya duniani na milioni 39.5 wamekuwa wakisumbuliwa na ugonjwa wa uraibu. Milioni 13.2 wamekuwa wakijidunga dawa za kulevya na kusababisha maambukizo mbalimbali. Kwa upande wa Tanzania, mikoa inaongoza kwa kilimo cha bangi ni pamoja na Morogoro, Mara na Arusha. Mikoa ya Kilimanjaro na Tanga ni vinara wa dawa za kulevya aina ya mirungi. Na katika matumizi ya hapa nchini, matumizi ya bangi yanaongoza kwa kutumiwa zaidi, ikifuatiwa na heroin, mirungi na dawa tiba zenye asili za kulevya, na mamlaka imeendelea kupambana kuhakikisha inakomesha kabisa vitendo hivyo.
Umahiri wa serikali ya awamu ya 6 katika mapambano dhidi ya dawa za kulevya unatambulika kitaifa, kikanda na kimataifa. Mafanikio makubwa yaliyopatikana katika udhibiti wa dawa za kulevya nchini, hususan mwaka 2023 na 24, nchi nyingi duniani na hata jumuiya mbalimbali za kimataifa zimetoa pongezi kubwa kwa Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan na serikali yake kwa kuonesha uthubutu wa kuvunja na kukamata mitandao mikubwa ya dawa za kulevya nchini. Mheshimiwa mgeni rasmi, tunampongeza Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania na serikali ya awamu ya 6 kwa juhudi inazoendelea kuchukua katika kuendeleza amani na mshikamano wa kitaifa kwa kutumia falsafa ya R4, yaani falsafa ya maridhiano, mageuzi, ustahimilivu na kujenga upya taifa letu, ambayo kimsingi inagusa nyanja zote za kiuchumi, kisiasa na hata kijamii na kuleta maendeleo yenye usawa nchini Tanzania.
Serikali ya awamu ya 6 chini ya Rais Daktari Samia Suluhu Hassan imesema kuwa imejipanga kuhakikisha kuwa inawasaidia watu waliokuwa waraibu wa dawa za kulevya, mbali ya kuwapatia tiba, lakini pia kuwapatia ujuzi utakaowafanya wasirudi tena katika uraibu wa dawa za kulevya. Mheshimiwa Jenista Mhagama ni waziri wa nchi ofisi ya Waziri Mkuu, Sera, Bunge na Uratibu, anabainisha hayo mbele ya Waziri Mkuu Mheshimiwa Kassim Majaliwa na kumwambia kwamba hiyo ni mikakati ambayo inapatikana katika sera mpya ya mapambano dhidi ya dawa za kulevya.
Kwenye sera yetu tumeweka msisitizo katika swala la elimu kwa waraibu, lakini swala zima la elimu kwa wale wote ambao wanatumia dawa za kulevya, ili tuweze kufanya udhibiti wa kutosha kwenye matumizi ya dawa za kulevya nchini. Kwa hiyo tunaamini kabisa kwa kushirikisha sekta zote, tukifanikiwa katika kutoa elimu, tutakuwa tumefanya jambo la kutosha kwenye eneo zima la udhibiti. Eneo la pili